just get the 75 minus whatever that person brings me as a down payment, and you'll keep that note and take the payments until they pay you off. How does that sound, Mr. Investor? And you know what he said? Because it's on the slideshow. He said, yeah, right? If he said no, it wouldn't be up there. All right, good. All right, he said, yeah. He said, sure, right? Wouldn't you? I mean, if you get 32 and you got payments of, let's say 59, why wouldn't you? It's a decent deal. And then they came and they gave me 16 grand. And that one was cash too. That was cash money. I was wearing, probably tighter jeans than this, and I came home and I was like, what the hell's wrong with your pants? I got a lot of money in my pocket. They gave me like all money, like no checks, just all cash. By the way, I will accept cash whenever it's available. I don't turn it down. Okay, so that's kind of the creative stuff that I like to do, and why this deal becomes available is because a lot of times what I found in the market when I got here is a lot of people were just looking at cash. There's a lot of old school guys around here that will teach you everything you particularly want to know about, notes and creative financing. I'm not the expert on that. But what I am really great at is knowing where to find the people and knowing how to ask the questions and saying, okay, well, how can I structure this deal to maximize the profit? Because not every deal is going to be a cash deal. It's just reality. So why throw away your potential deals just for the sake of just say, well, I don't know anything. If anything, bring that deal to me and I'll partner with you on it if you can't get it done cash. Make sense? Cool. So, again, what am I back to? Marketing. If you don't focus on marketing, guess what? Tough times ahead for you. Bumpy roads. Okay? You're going to be working for peanuts, you ain't going to have no money. Okay? Because you're going to invest a lot of time, not getting your money back, you're going to run out of resources, you're probably going to have very little motivation to actually do anything, and eventually you're going to quit. I know it. So, after Damon just sat and labored over this point about marketing, what kind of a-hole would he be if he did not, or what kind of a-hole is he if he didn't tell us how to make these deals happen, what he does, right? That's what you're thinking? You guys are much nicer than me. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't just beat you up and then not give you anything. So, these are the methods that I personally use and I focus on, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. Okay? So first, I look for types of prospects that match a solution, that are looking for a solution, and I match what I have to offer. So in other words, I look for people that have a problem and I offer them the solution that I want to offer. I create a message, contact them directly, and hit their pain, sometimes multiple pain points if I can. I deliver the message through an effective means of communication at a high rate of response, okay? Anybody in here doing direct mail? Okay, put your hands down there. I'm not gonna make fun of you. But if you're doing direct mail, my best advice is don't do postcards. I don't care how many times you send them, nobody's gonna read them. That's what's real. And they're expensive, right? They're not cheap. They cost something because some lady has to go drop them off, some man got to go drop them off. My parents worked for the post office for a very long time. I know. They got to deliver those, okay? That costs time and money. For what? A 2% response rate? I don't know. I feel like you should be doing something else. And if you are going to do direct mail, make sure your mail pops, make sure it's ridiculous, make sure it's something that stands out so you can get a response rate. And then make sure your list is highly targeted. Okay? Make your offer to prospect and then get a decision, right? We talked about that. Don't go, I'm gonna call it digging around. Don't go digging around and say, well, let me ask you a few more questions. No, get right to it. Find out what their pain is. If they're in the market, get on to making them set an appointment to go out and see the house, make them an offer, and get a decision right then and there. Boom. If they're in, they're in. If they're out, they're out. But that only comes out product of marketing. And also, I can't say this enough, and we talked about this a little bit with CJ when I said I would talk to you and I'll look at you at some point in the presentation. When you're putting a deal under contract, you always want to be careful that you're able to deliver, right? So if you're looking at the wholesale or whether it be something else and you're not quite sure where the money's, well, that's going to change in a few minutes. But let's say if you're going to put something under contract, you want to know that you're going to be able to perform for those people because they trust you, right? If you're telling people you're going to do something, I'm not a huge fan. And believe me, I'm not talking out of being holier than thou. I've had to do it, but it sucks when you got to tell somebody that you can't buy their house and they trust you. You know, it's a shitty feeling, and you just don't want to do it. So, and it kind of has a reputation down there too. So I'm saying, get yourself in a position where if you're going to do something, you deliver on it, and that's just good principles for life, right? So that's what I would definitely recommend.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said you don't do direct mail. What do you do for contacting the message because they're paying?
Thank you for asking me that. And I will tell you as soon as I get to the next slide. There we go. Yeah, I'll just roll it. All right, so great question. What do I do? So, cash buyers is pretty much what I focus on. So I want to talk a little bit about list building. So first thing I would recommend for anybody on their list had wholesale. This is the part where you got to look over the list. How many people had wholesale on their list? Keep your hands raised, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so bulk of everybody. I'll put myself in wholesale. All right. If you're going to be wholesaling, my best recommendation is to go and find cash buyers first. Okay? Chicken before the egg. Now, why do I say that? Because it's simple. You want to have confidence going in and negotiating with these people, and you want to be able to perform. And the best way to do that is to have buyers in a specific area that you're targeting, and then go out and shop for what they want. Example, if you were going to a grocery store and you had to pick up a few things for the week, wouldn't you write a list out first of the things you're going to go buy and then go to the grocery store and go shopping, right? I mean, you could go the other way. You could just show up and just start buying stuff, but you're probably going to come, why the hell did I buy all this soda? Like, you didn't really need it, right? And that's what happens. So if you have the buyer, then you just have to match up the properties that you're looking for. And that's what I recommend, and that's what I do. And it helps because you go in there to that negotiation with Mr. Seller and you say, hey, Mr. Seller, I'd really like to buy this property at $60,000 like you like, but I'm just not able to do that. You know why? Because I just know the market's going to pay $55,000, and that's all I can do. But I'm ready to do a cash deal today. And I'm here. What would you like to do next? And invariably, some people say yes, some people say no. I'd say most people will say yes in person. They'll say, yeah, okay, we'll do it at 55. Now, if you know that your guy's paying 50 in that area, you're guaranteed 50 grand. Right? All we got to do is work out paperwork and logistics at that point. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? I know in the market is different, right? You got a deal. If you got a deal, people will come. Anybody ever try to sell a deal that you just got under contract? You know who's coming? Yeah, the same people that you out there competing with, you got to send the deal to them to see if they got a buyer. It's a waste of time. You have buyers, now it's the other way around, CJ. Casey? JC. Jesse.
There you go. There you go.
JC. Right? Now it's the other way around. Now, those guys, you have the buyers in that market, you go out and say, look, I'm buying everything in here at $150,000. What do you have? Now you're the money guy. Now you can control the deal. If you don't want to take the deal, you don't have to. But that changes the game. And I venture to say a lot of people are probably doing it different in this market. That's a good way to set us apart. So I focus on targeted lists, and we build our own list. So I build the cash buyers list for what I'm looking for. I also build probate lists in our shop. That's what we do. I got one girl, that's all she does. Build probate lists all day, every day. That's all she does. In all four, I think we're in 4 counties now. 4 counties. That's all she does. Never see her. Never talk to her. Just pay her on Fridays. That's it. But that's all she does. Right? Now, why probate? Anybody know what probate is? Okay, most people know what it is. Does anybody market probate? Okay. What kind of response you get? Huh?
Pretty solid, yeah.
Pretty solid? Have you closed a probate deal this year?
Yeah.
How long have you been marketing?
Not too long, a couple months.
Couple months.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got
I
it.
sent like a letter, personal letter.
Sweet. So I probably heard about your letter when I called them. So that's the answer. I call people. I call them. I'll get that same probate list. You ready? Write this down.
Do you call from the yellow pages?
No. What's your name?
Ben.
Ben. No, Ben. Ready? Write this down. I skip trace them. Then I call their butts. And I say, hey, what are you doing? They say, who the hell are you? Then I say, I'm just a guy interested in buying your house. For sale. And I go ahead and go with the rest. And you know what they usually say? Man, I know you guys are interested. You know, we got about 50 of your letters. You know, from here to here. I'm giving you what I'm doing. Because everybody else is not doing it. So for you being here, you just got a little gem.
So when you skip trace, you mean how you found them? You take their name, you type it in on Google, and you try to find the number somewhere?
Nope. I have a service where I can go out and find your phone number. You give me your address, then I'll find your phone number before you give it to me.
What is it? Is it a paid service? You tell me.
Yeah, it is. No, it's free, Ben. It's a free service. It's a free service.
Use RedX?
No, I will tell you the name, I promise. So we get through this. I will give it to you. Okay? Promise. Early. Alright, probate. Foreclosure. I like foreclosure because I can turn those into creative finance deals, like I just showed you. Any kind of duress, pay up the mortgage, take it subject to. That's my go-to strategy because I like to control stuff without paying a lot. That's just my thing. It makes me feel good. When I can own a bunch of stuff and not have to really pay a lot, I feel like I got a deal. My son sometimes he's like, hey dad, how much you get this one from? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, $1. He's like, oh man, you killed it. You're the man. He gets excited about that kind of stuff.
Hey, look, can I ask you a question about foreclosures?
Yes, you can.
So I've made multiple offers on foreclosures.
Okay, in what stage?
Done. So they're on the MLS, they're listed, you got the 20-day waiting period, 20-day waiting period's over, nobody's offered on it, and I've only been able to buy one out of probably 100 offers.
And you got outbid on the rest of them?
Oh, every single one.
Yeah.
And then, I started tracing the brokers that are handling them. So like this one I just did recently, I made an offer on it out near where you're at, down near Brandon.
Right.
This guy has done 150 already this year. He's located out of Naples. The title company he uses out of Boca. I don't know where he's getting them from. He's a broker. He's also, it's his own title company.
Is he buying them or is he just listing them?
He's just listing them.
Okay.
But he's getting all the listings. And then, like the other day, I put in this offer, full price offer.
Yeah.
Just came on, first day, was available, put the offer on. You can't get these guys on the phone. You can't get them to return your phone calls. You can't get anything. So I've just started. I make direct offers on paper. I put a FAR bar together and I offer.
Yeah.
And they come back and he says, "Oh, I got a verbal offer. It was better than your offer." It's like, well, wait a second.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to accept verbal offers? It seems like they've got their own buyer list.
Probably.
And you're not. You're never going to get it.
You're not.
These guys.
And that's why I can't tell you anything about foreclosure around that because that's not a strategy I entertain for that very reason. But what I will tell you is my foreclosure. When I say foreclosure, I'm talking like a pre-stage. So as soon as you get that 90-day notice when you're list pendis, that's when I go for you.
Pre-NOD.
Yeah, pre-NOD. Yep. That's what I go for you. Because really, what you're saying is now I can't afford the house. I'm kind of in flux. I'm deciding if I'm gonna go and figure it out, or if I'm gonna try to stick it out and wait till the end. If you ask me, if I was in a house, I'd be like, look, I'm riding this thing till wheels fall off. But some people are different. Like they would wait it out, Right. So that's what I would probably do. They would make a decision and go into something else. So, but that's what I would do. Okay. So did I answer your question? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I did.
It does, yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Yes.
I want to make sure I get you. There's only 2 ladies here. Okay? And tax deed sale. And when I say tax deed, it's the same thing also. I go before the sale. All right? So I'm looking up. If you're before the sale, I want to go get your butt before you get to those steps. Because once you get to those, that's not even steps anymore, it's online.
That's all.
Once you get to the online, guess what it is? It's the wild, wild west. Everybody's out there and just firing up, bah, 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 I'll take it. You know? Matter of fact, I went to, when it was still, it's funny. It was downtown at, on Twig. And I sat down and I had a property that I had control over, and I was trying to get it on lease purchase, but the title didn't clear, so I had one of the heirs. It was a probate deal. I had one of the heirs. He gave me the house. He just I had control over it, and I was renting it for like a few months, right? While it was worked out. So the taxes ended up going too far, and it was coming up for sale. And I was trying to get the actual title work, but it wasn't going to get done. So I said, let me try to pick it up at auction. Because if you go to auction and you get the tax deed sale, then you can clear all the junior liens. Does everybody know that? Well, not yet. Right? If you get it at tax deed sale, you can clear all the junior liens. The only things that doesn't wash off is like IRS and the government. Everything else will get washed. So I was going to go and take that one. So I sat and I was like, let me just see if I can win this thing, because I already know everything about it. I was like, let's see if I can take it down. Sure enough, I'm sitting there, and this lady, it was her first time coming to an auction, period, was sitting there and just started bidding on everything. She ended up bidding on this house she had never even seen before, right? And ended up winning the bid. But here's the kicker. You know what she did? Once she won the bid, she ended up going a little bit further, got the bid. She was the highest bidder. Then she had to cut, at that point you had to put up like a 10, I think it's like a 10%. 10%? She didn't have the 10%.
So it was right back to bid.
Heck no, some guy came up and gave her the money and said, okay, I'll talk to you afterwards. Gave her the money to win the bid. I said, where are we? What is this, Vegas? Like, we're just doing deals? I said, this lady doesn't, and she was way overbid. Like, I wouldn't have gave this lady any money, but she was just bidding just for the sake of bidding. So I'm like, okay, so now that lady, she didn't have to come and do it in front of me. She just does it from her house. Like, that's what happens. The only thing online, I think you gotta have the money. So maybe she's not really bidding, but that's my point. Stay away from the crazies. Get them before things get nuts. Okay? Be foxy, not stupid. Okay? Here's another strategy that I use, and it's not expensive at all, and it's gradual, and it's networking, right? You guys consider this as networking, right? You're out, you're with people of like mind, like personality, right? Okay, my networking, don't network with people in here, okay? You guys can do some deals and get some resources here, but the place you want to network is beyond, look around. Right outside, if you run into these kind of people that don't know what we know in here, they see me in here, they're like, oh wow, what are they talking about? When you go out there and network with those people. Because I don't know anybody that doesn't want to get into real estate, doesn't want to make any extra money, and doesn't have some kind of money that they don't want to risk in the market or Bitcoin or whatever the latest hot thing is, right? Like people they know real estate is safe. So network around there. I have one attorney that $100,000 flip. That attorney gave me that deal. This past year, he gave me another one. I made like 20 grand. And I pay him a finder's fee, but it ain't big money. He just likes the fact that he sends me the deal, I get him closed. He's like, man, you're like Midas. Every time I send you something, you close it. I said, keep on sending them. I'm Midas. Right?